Nice to see you here in person.
Yes, give me one sec. All right. Steve, gonna turn camera on, audio on. All right, and we're back, joined by head coach Steve Cherundolo. We're gonna start off with questions here in person, and then take questions over Zoom. We'll start off with Kevin Baxter.
Steve, thanks for your time again. Nice to see you as well. So, I got a couple questions for you. The first one is you've tried a number of different combinations here at time. You've had some successful, some not. The Bowenga Son combination seems to have worked from day one. Why is it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's not the only conversation that's worked. I think Denis and Amadi Bogush worked pretty well. I think of Carlos Vela with pretty much anybody works.
Yeah.
So many combinations work. I think if you look at LAFC's offensive production over the past 8 seasons, well, 7 3/4, if you want to call it, um, it's been pretty good. And so I think our system and the way we interpret the game here is very offensive. And so naturally our attackers will um, profit from that. Those two in particular, with how we've been playing recently, both are excellent at exposing teams in behind. And if you give either player room in behind, or if you give either player windows, we're going to attack those spaces. And each of them have the technical ability to play in those windows, to receive passes in those windows, to also run in behind and attack space. And in front of goal, obviously both have shown over the past 2 games what they're capable of. And so I think it makes it really difficult for defenders to mark them when there's open space and given the freedom that we give them.
The second question is I know you watch other sports. Soccer to me seems unique in that referees are, players are allowed to confront, argue, whatever you want to call it, with referees all the time. It doesn't have to be the captain. No other sport does that. Why do you think that is? And is there a benefit of that? Have you ever seen a referee change a call because he was argued with?
No, but there are other sports where, let's call it, communication with the officials is important. Rugby, for example, where there's constant communication, and it's great to see. I think the more officials try to communicate with players, the better it will get, and the relationship gets better. There's more understanding for one another. I think just in general, I think if we as human beings speak to each other, there's going to be more understanding for the other opinion inside. Having that said, yeah, I think it can be really good when they do speak to each other. At some point, it can get to a place where you're trying to influence referee's decision, and that's wrong. And you're absolutely right. I've never seen a ref change his call.
And from what we said, it doesn't got communication, to be honest. It looks like confrontation or whatever. But if you say it's communication, okay.
Well, I mean, communication is mostly nonverbal, and it doesn't always have to be words, and sometimes it doesn't always have to be positive, but we're always communicating whether we like it or not. And I think our officials understand the emotions of the game and do fairly well with it. At times it gets out of hand, but that's also normal. It's a sport we all care very much about in this country and in this league, and emotions are a part of the game.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Jim Alexander here. You guys have been locking guys down to contracts, especially you got 2 of them done this week. Is it important for you? I mean, obviously you have the player, the general manager, but you're at the forefront of this too. How important is it for you to lead this team and have a core in place for even the next incoming coach for you? Is that something you think about to sort of leave the team in better shape maybe than you inherit? Is that something you care about too, sort of the future of this team, even though you might not be here?
Yeah. Look, I'm the current coach of the team, and I was for the past couple of years, and it's my job to make sure that this club is as successful as possible. It's my job to make sure, and the other coaches obviously, to make sure that we maximize the potential in the roster. And you cannot just think transfer window to transfer window. You always have to be ahead of the game. You have to be ahead of the curve. In the world of football, I think it's also different for us in the United States compared to other U.S. sports. We are competing against I don't know how many other teams around the world, and it's all one big market. And we have to make sure that we are ahead of the curve. And so, what we are doing now has been decided months, maybe a year ago. and what we do in the next transfer window will have also already been decided. And so, yes, it is absolutely important to me and everybody working at LAFC that when it's time to move on or time to go, that the club is in a better place.
And also, you had the fortune to manage a lot of big name players, stars and stuff. Some other coaches around the league maybe don't have that luxury. LAFC is known for as a star club in a sense. Tell me, does that change your sort of method of coaching and just managing personalities in that sense, knowing that you have a lot of prominent talent always coming into LAFC over your tenure over the years, or do you have one sort of objective of how you treat players, no matter how big their standing is in a sense?
No, every player has a different personality, and every player receives different treatment from me. I have a different relationship with every player. By no means is it the same method with each player. I think the one constant we do have is, we playing time is based on your effort, is based on what you can do for the team and the club, and that's it. And I think we've been fair with that over the last 4 years, and consistent. And that is all players really can ask for and want. In my experiences, they want to be treated in a fair manner. And if somebody is ahead of them, then you need to speak to that player and communicate with them of why, and give them a chance to prove you wrong. And that's how we do our work here, regardless of the name. But certainly the relationship and how I treat each individual, that changes according to the person, their personality, where they're from, what they've done, and what their needs are.
We got time for a couple more with Steve, right here. Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah from NBC America. I have a question. We have a game this week, so we had a great game last time. Do you expect to carry the moment into this home match as well?
Yes, very much so. Unfortunately, there's an opponent who also is trying to stop that momentum. And so it'll be an interesting matchup. We rarely play the same team twice in 1 week. It's just an anomaly of our schedule and our season, but it'll be interesting to see, obviously what Pablo has thought of and what solutions and changes he'll make, if any at all, and then what we'll do. And so it's for those tacticians, hobby tacticians in the stands or in front of the TVs, I think it'll be interesting to watch. But we absolutely want to carry this momentum forward. We have 6 games left, and I have no objections to winning all 6. But we're going to start thinking about just this one game for now.
And then it seems like your team energy must be high. And how's the team atmosphere so far?
Yeah, today still a little bit in recovery mode. So I think emotionally, I think we're fine. I think we're in a good place. Physically, obviously, they need today still to recover, but tomorrow we expect some fresher legs, and I think mentally we're in a good spot. I think mental freshness is there for the most part, and we'll put the finishing touches on our match plan tomorrow. Get the players physically in a spot where they'll be able to compete on Sunday, and hopefully enjoy a successful outing for LAFC on Sunday night.
Okay, we'll go to Katya.
Steve, official farewell for Carlos Adimo on Sunday. What's your best memory that you have sharing with him and what you guys accomplished with him?
Yeah, I think for me the best memories of at work are always the ones maybe not really involved with our work. It's the personal relationships, the conversations, the laughs, the jokes. I appreciate more of the personal side of things than I do the professional side. But obviously winning a trophy with Carlos, trophies with Carlos was amazing. And I'm very happy for him. He put in a lot of work to do that. And, to watch him as the captain raise trophies, I think was special for him and this club, and I was happy to be part of it.
When we talk about legacy, what do you think his legacy is?
I think I am not the one to answer that. I think the journalists here at this table are the ones who solidify people's legacies, and the fans. And I'll leave it up to you guys.
One last one from Derek.
Hi, Coach. Derek Riadili. So the team is being praised for its improved teamwork. So what kind of efforts do you
I think just accomplishing everything we do as a collective is enough for this group to be successful as a group. Whether I ask them to press on goal kicks or throw-ins or do this, that, I'm not sure that is that important. I think what this group understands now in the last couple of weeks is whatever we do, we're doing together. And then if that means we are fatigued and we are a little disorganized, then we have to just sit a little deeper. But as long as this group stays connected and is communicating and is on the same page, it's a very difficult team to beat.
All right, that'll do it for Steve. We'll be right back with Timothy Tillman. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve.